Hello everyone, once again. First I'm going to start with introducing myself. I'm ESR 16, Irakli Pkhakadze. I am research assistant at Stockholm's University Swedish Law and Informatics Research Institute. It's my fourth month at Visual project, and my research project is digital twins as a way to help ensure legal compliance of video-based AAL technologies. Thanks to all the presenters, because all the technologies that we discussed before, especially in the second module, it's really crucial to understand those, because those technologies are basically enablers to digital twins technology, which we're gonna discuss pretty soon. So I'm gonna show you my research overview. So my research focuses on utilizing digital twins for data simulation and anonymization mostly. The primary aim is to compile a comprehensive report on their role in ensuring data privacy within AAL environments in this setting. And since video-based technologies in AAL settings pose significant risk, privacy risk, and addressing this risk is crucial for the acceptance and the legal adherence of AAL technologies. So a study problem is that we need to find solutions that ensure compliance without compromising personal data integrity. So, and ensuring privacy and legal compliance is crucial for the adoption of these technologies, and therefore the research involves navigating the complexities of legal compliance, also ethical implications and practical implications to foster a secure and trustworthy environment for users. Objectives of my research are mostly to examine digital twins as tools for data simulation and anonymization. We then analyze the impact of GDPR on the deployment of those technologies, and additionally we assess the social, ethical and legal compliance challenges with digital twins deployment, and finally we review existing research and practical implementations on ongoing regulatory most probably new frameworks governing digital twins in AAL settings. Well, mostly I'm here referring to new AI Act and medical devices regulation. We're going to talk a bit later on this. So relevance of discussing digital twins in AAL from legal perspective is that it's crucial for several reasons. Firstly, there has to be regulatory clarity for deployers and developers to understand what their obligations are when they want to design and put their products on the market. And especially with the applicable regulations and such hard to understand sort of regulations that is like, let's say, AI Act for now on medical devices regulation. And also risk management, which emphasizes safety and reliability, which is crucial for healthcare applications, and innovation facilitation, basically, because we need to make sure that these requirements ensures that innovation in AAL technologies is fostered within legally compliant framework. So there are a plethora of definitions and literature, even though the concept is quite new and it's like recently adopted term, but there are like a lot of definitions in literature, and well, my research has ambition to provide a new one, and it's to me it sounds quite complete. It's like the product of mixing and analyzing at least 60 research papers, and I will read it out loud. It's dynamic and comprehensive virtual model that mirrors the physical, functional, and behavioral characteristics of real-world entity or system across its life cycle. The simulation integrates multi-physics and multi-scale data, uses real-time updates and AI algorithms to replicate and predict the state and performance of its physical counterpart, facilitating optimization, monitoring, and decision-making within an interconnected physical and virtual environment. So we're gonna go back to this a bit later. Now, since I don't know how familiar you are, I mean, most probably people with computer science background are most familiar with this, but still, I'm gonna give you like short historical overview when it has been established and how it's going on right now. So, early adoption of the concept itself started in the 1960s when NASA first implemented this model, like let's say not software, but they were trying to simulate real world conditions when it comes to Apollo 13 missions. And then in 1991 we had first software that could replicate some sort of like reflecting physical data and analyze some given inputs. And 2002, Michael Greaves, who is like godfather of the digital twins, I mean term digital twins, introduced the concept at Michigan University, he basically described how do we like deploy a model and how do we manage a life cycle of certain product in not only physical but in virtual world. After that, 2010, we saw that NASA and American Air Force firstly they used the word digital twins first in history, and in 2015, 2020s, and well, basically after 2015, we see digital twins almost everywhere. It's complex. Its systems are integrated almost everywhere when it comes to like smart grids, smart energy grids, manufacturing plants, agronomic simulations, livestock farming, and urban systems, but mainly in healthcare applications too, when it comes to mostly cell engineering and also with cancer treatment. So talking about digital twins, since and the European Union, those two platforms are quite new, meaning they are established by European Union, and Destiny is just 2 months old, and Edith is like 3 months old. Destiny is basically digital twin of the Earth, and it has a lot of parameters, of course. It shows us what would happen if we would change one simple input in information, and what would happen when it comes to climate change, or what would happen when it comes to deforestation and so on. And most important, European Union has an ambition to integrate new European virtual human twin in European healthcare, which basically, well, its project is quite ambitious in terms of its European Union wants to create universal product that would make it like possible to create mirrored in virtual replica of human beings, let's say, and predict their healthcare status and predict their health in the future. So when it comes to adoption of technology, also this concrete example is the example of how digital twins might work in real life. This is introduced by NVIDIA exactly 2 months ago, and with their super powered, last edition of their chips. It's backed by AI, of course, and we can see, well, according to their benchmark records, the accuracy is like really high. And basically the system can predict like every possible simulation, every possible route, let's say, in the manufacturing here pretty well. So the one thing that we need to understand here is that digital twins are mostly used for predicting, and it might not solve all the issues we might have with like privacy, because it mostly is fed by data, and it's like heavily dependent on acquisition of data. But after that, it basically predicts like everything we might be interested in, mostly in healthcare. So when it comes to digital twins for elderly care, digital twins offer numerous benefits, and they enable individualized care plans, mental health support, physical rehabilitation, and digital twins can also offer optimized living environment after predicting. After gathering all the data from sensors or cameras and so on, they can offer optimized living environment for elderly, and also help them with like decision assistance and memory aids, and of course with social assistance, health surveillance, and emergency services. In my research, I offer this structure, the architecture of digital twins in AAL, which involves several layers. The data collection layer utilizes wearables and sensors to gather information. The communication layer employs wireless protocols, IoT, gateway, and then comes data processing layer, which is like most crucial. It involves cloud computing, IoT platforms, edge computing, and then we have the digital twins layer itself, where all the virtual representation of gathered data and simulation and analytics are happening. After that, decision support layer, which involves environmental adjustments, emergency services, and user interface layer. Well, basically, those are refers to like caregivers interfaces, and in the end, maintenance and feedback layer. Since digital twins are mostly relied on AI algorithm, it's always necessary to have models in movement. They always need to be renewed and always need to be trained on new data. So strategies for data privacy in AAL environments can be achieved through various strategies, and anonymization and pseudonymization, obviously, and permanently removing identifiers or replacing identifiers with pseudonyms. And one of the, like we have a lot of pseudonymization, anonymization techniques that we discussed in today, but I mean, so far, according to literature, the best one that might work for digital twins technology is generative adversarial networks, which I can show you in my chart. Actually, we can skip on this, which is basically it prepares data for digital twins. I mean, you give data, some sort of gathered from videos, sensors, what have you, and it initializes generator and discriminator, and generator tries to alter the data, and then if discriminator can like differentiate which is real or which is not, it gives data. If it gives like input to the generator. If it's distinguishable, then it goes back until the process is finalized. If not, and it's like successful mimicry, and the data is ready to be integrated in digital twins. So also when it comes to healthcare domain, high-risk AI systems in healthcare, such as those used for diagnosis, monitoring, psychological processes, and therapeutic decision-making, often qualify as medical device software. This necessitates a conformity assessment by regulatory authorities. The AI framework classifies AI integrated into software needing medical device conformity assessment as a high-risk AI, and this emphasizes a risk emphasizing the importance of regulatory compliance, because we need systems to be safe on the market, and it has to go through CE marking and so on. And understanding these regulations is essential for the safe and effective deployment of AI systems in healthcare in AAL environments. So I think this is it pretty much, and thank you, and ready for your questions.
Any questions from the audience?
So I'm just curious concerning the digital twins, because if you're using models like GANs, generative adversarial networks, so basically
this one.
Yeah,
sure,
I mean, whatever they generate, it's kind of, there is a certain level of certainty what you can expect from them.
Yep.
But then if you want to model the human, so we have certain level of, let's say, uncertainty in the sense of the behavior. So I'm just saying this because, okay, if you create a digital twin of something, let's say of a person, right, and then it's kind of digital self or whatever. So I mean, is there a gap if there is, between something which is called the digital twin and then how people actually see the technology in the sense of some acceptance and adoption?
If I understood, could you please repeat it in what's the question exactly? Like, what's the risk of adoption and like?
Yeah, in a sense, I'm just curious about the effectiveness of the digital twin.
Yeah, well, definitely. In a long-term view, European Union also sees a lot of possibilities because they are funding it. They want to establish new digital twin for humans when it comes to healthcare. EDIT. Of course, it's going to be when it comes to adoption and sympathy to the technology, we cannot expect that it's going to be like acceptable for most of the users mostly because it's AI based to start with. And also, even though Siemens, Microsoft, AWS and NVIDIA already kind of proved that the highly effectiveness of the system, we still cannot expect this. Remember, like 2 years ago when almost 2 years ago when ChatGPT introduced, people were like, oh my God, our job's gonna disappear and what's gonna happen now, this and that. Now they complain that it's really slow only. So I think it's just a matter of time and it's a matter of testing. So when it comes to GANs, according to literature, it's the only, also it's not my profile, I'm a legal researcher too, but according to literature, this is the most effective way not to map back to the individual or certain situations that you gather data from. So, analyzing all of this, I think future is quite promising still.
Thank you.
Yep, Sid.
Thanks for the presentation. Just one question. I don't know much about digital twins, but as far as I understood, it's supposed to be like a representation of something in a digital representation of reality, and you're supposed to have like interactions both ways, right? You're supposed to input something into this digital world and then learn something back, right? From how it interacts with the environment.
Yes.
With something like generative adversarial networks, I have thought about this before. Is it really a digital twin though? Like you can input something into the environment, but what are you getting back? Like what are you really learning from the input that you put into the environment?
Yeah, so the thing here is that, okay, to start with, so everything basically that we have in physical world can be mirrored and replicated into virtual. So this, the concept of digital twin. So with this technique, we can describe and we can predict the lifetime of the product. Let's say designing smart home or smart, like some sort of apartment full of sensors, videos, and so on that gathers all the data. We have a full accessible anonymized data which cannot be mapped back to individual, and then we have a virtual representation of all of this. Nothing is identifiable, only that we have like certain situation, right? When it comes to digital twins and when it comes to training of this model, well, according to the NVIDIA and AWS and Microsoft Azure, which is a lastly deployed model, we just basically have if-else kind of situations. What would happen if? And this predicts what would happen if, let's say, one sensor will not work. What would happen if a person approaches this area? It gives you signals like, okay, look, somebody might fall somewhere, right? And digital twins, if it's like a successful one, deployed digital twins can give you a prediction what would happen next. And also, I'm not saying that it's a universal thing. It won't solve all the problems that we have with data privacy and so on, but it's basically all the technologies that we discuss are enablers for digital twins, and digital twins are sort of like in different category that you can use to design better systems and better, let's say, environments for elderly. So, and also, not only the good thing about this is that not only you don't only need real-time data, and you don't need to gather data and then alter it and feed digital twin with it. You can just simulate data without any real data, like with synthetic data, let's say, and notice what risks it might hold. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, we came up with this project proposal. We really hoped that this was going to solve all of our data privacy problems by just creating digital models of the human. Sounds like we're not quite there, but there are some possibilities.
Yeah, it's a long road, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
a long road
But
ahead.
one day.
Well, a short road to the coffee break. So I think we can leave it there. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think we head outside now, right, Paco? Oh, and a round of applause for Irakli. 4 months of research.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.